Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Desire Wellness, where we are exploring the immune system to prepare for the cold and flu season. Happens every year. We're talking to Nurse Practitioner Deidre Arms, of course, with Desire Wellness Group, desirewellnessgroup.com. She's here with us just about every week, and she brings us a new topic every single week, and she's here to answer your questions. Now, in this particular episode, it's all about the immune system, and we are going to cover as much as we can about the immune system, what it is, why it's crucial for our health, how it functions, and what factors can both compromise and strengthen us. So join us as nurse practitioner Deidre shares her expert insights on maintaining a robust immune system through lifestyle, nutrition, and supplementation. So let's get started. What do you say, Deidre?
Sounds good.
Okay, so what exactly is the immune? Sounds like a weird question to ask. I mean, I don't know, but we have to ask it. What exactly is the immune system, and why is it so important for our health?
Well, it's our body's defense network, right? It's made up of our cells, tissue, and organs, and they work together to protect us from harmful invaders like bacteria, like viruses, and toxins. So it's crucial for us to have a healthy immune system because it can identify and neutralize threats to our body before they become an illness. And without our immune system, we'd be vulnerable to infection and disease.
Yeah, well, we definitely don't want that. So how does the immune system work to actually protect us from these little bugs and other illnesses?
That's a good question. The immune system has two branches, innate and adaptive. And the innate is like, if you think about it as it's the first line of defense when something happens, it responds very quickly to any invader that gets into the body. And then the adaptive immune system, on the other hand, it learns to recognize specific threats and it's more targeted for that. So these are longer lasting responses. So together they detect pathogens and neutralize them and eliminate damaged cells to keep us healthy and safe.
Well, is there a specific mechanism of action that makes the immune system function effectively?
I knew you'd ask that. So yeah. So the immune cells, like your white blood cells, right? They detect your foreign invaders and they trigger a series of events to eliminate them. So the adaptive immune system creates antibodies, and we've all heard about antibodies, which are proteins that kind of specifically target and neutralize pathogens. And so the cells remember the invaders so they can respond faster and more effectively in the body if they encounter them again.
So, what role does the gut play in supporting or affecting our immune system?
So I love to talk about the gut, but
I know you do. And if anyone
70%.
missed our other episode on leaky gut, you hear about my leaky gut. More to come on that. But it really got me interested in understanding how it affects so many aspects of our body and our health. So I would assume that it also has or plays a role in our immune system as well.
It does. Around 70% of our immune system resides in our gut. So it's quite
Oh,
a bit.
no way.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow,
And
that's a lot.
it is. And so you have to have a happy gut to have a healthy life, right? And so the gut microbes, which are a collection of bacteria and organisms, play a critical role in that. When we test in the gut, we're looking at your secretory IgA to know if your immune response is functioning properly and balanced. So conditions like leaky gut
Mhm.
can lead to inflammation and a weakened immune response.
So what are it's just some of the common factors that can compromise the immune system? So you mentioned the leaky gut, so I imagine food, but also I can imagine stress, viruses, bacteria, cardiovascular, vascular diseases like peripheral artery disease.
Exactly. So Foods, those diets, standard American diet, which is very high in sugar and processed foods, can cause inflammation and weaken the immune system. So you need to be getting enough of those high polyphenols, a colorful diet that we've talked about many times,
Taste the rainbow.
and
Just a
stress,
little plug, just a little plug.
right, right. Stress,
Shows I'm
chronic
learning
stress.
something over the weeks that we're doing this.
You are, and we're remembering all these, right, as we keep doing that.
Exactly.
Chronic stress suppresses your immune system. I always say stress, like we have to recognize stress in our life and what it does. But suppression of the immune system, weakening of the microbes and the gut lining, and then viruses. So you can get an overload of on the immune system when they're trying to fight a virus that you're exposed to or a bacteria. You know, a lot of times we think bacteria, we have antibiotics for that, but we don't have an antibiotic for a virus. So when you get a virus, your body is fighting that as well. And then cardiovascular disease, because of the chronic inflammation there, that further compromises the immune health.
Now, how about autoimmune conditions? A lot of genetics, I would imagine, likely involved there. What do we need to know about those?
Autoimmune disease really occurs when the immune system is mistakenly attacking healthy cells. So that's what's going on there. They think that they're foreign to the body, and genetics plays a role in this, but environment is the trigger. We always say, you know, genetic loads the gun, but our lifestyle pulls the trigger. And then this case with the autoimmune, just because we have this genetic predisposition, there's something in the environment, like an infection, like our lifestyle, that triggers these conditions as well. So we have the ability to turn on or turn off our genes. So it's important to manage that properly with medical care, boosting your immune.
Which I think we're going to get into. But before we get into how to boost your immune, I'm curious how certain medications can also affect or weaken the immune system.
So some of the most common, like steroids, chemotherapy, immunosuppressants, they weaken the immune system by reducing its ability to mount a proper defense. We often prescribe these in autoimmune, or if somebody's had organ transplant. So it makes people more vulnerable to infections. But you have to think about steroids, like how many people are put on steroids for an upper respiratory infection and or poison ivy. There's so many reasons why you go to the urgent care or something and you're getting a steroid, and it can weaken the immune system.
That's a little disconcerting. And then, so it's probably going to be really important, especially when you have those medications, to work on building that up. So what types of foods? Let's start. I like the whole natural method. I like, you know, you are what you eat. So what types of foods are best for building a strong immune system?
So our fruits and vegetables, especially those citrus fruits, leafy greens is a good one. Bell peppers, those are all rich in vitamin C. So that's something that boosts the immune system. We talk about vitamin C a lot. Nuts and seeds because of vitamin E as well. Then your fatty fish like salmon because of the omega-3s that can help reduce inflammation. Reducing inflammation can really help support the immune system as well.
Now, how about supplements? We all like the magic pill. So how can supplements help support immune health, and which ones do you see as being the most effective?
So supplements definitely fill that nutritional gap when we're not getting it through our diet alone. Some of the key supplements that we see is vitamin C, right? Because it can boost your white blood cell. And remember, you can get that in a complete blood count to see what your white blood cell is doing. Vitamin D, because it enhances pathogen fighting effects. Vitamin D is the most potent antioxidant, you know, out there. It's really good for us. Zinc, because of the role in immune. And then probiotics, because if you maintain a healthy gut barrier, you can improve your immune response too.
So, what should people look for when choosing immune supplements? What are the key components that make an immune supplement actually effective?
You want to look for products that are clinically supported in their ingredients. You want to look for third parties that test these as well, so you know what they say are in them, you're getting them. You want to look for something that's comprehensive, like vitamin C and D, zinc, probiotics as well. I've seen a lot of elderberry used too. That's a good thing to help with the immune response when you become ill. It's just important to choose high quality brands that have had that third party testing for purity and potency.
So, you've been mentioning probiotics. So, how do supplements with probiotics? Like, I use hyperbiotics formula with zinc and vitamin C. And I'm curious, so how exactly do those probiotics work to contribute to immune health? And I will say, with that particular formula, I saw a huge difference in, and I just, you'd be surprised, like after they work, I don't know why we do this, but you see things working and then you stop taking them. And I don't know, for whatever reason, maybe you ran out and then you forgot, and then you're like, well, why start again? Who knows? But I literally, after leaky gut last week, I was thinking I had better start. And I wondered if, starting could actually start healing my leaky gut that we know that I potentially have.
Right. So pre and probiotic foods are really good for healing that leaky gut. But probiotics help to maintain the balance in the gut microbiome. That's really important because if 70% of our immune system is housed in the gut microbiome, we have to fertilize that lawn in there. And that's what probiotics do. They fertilize the lawn there. And so when we combine probiotics with zinc and the vitamin C, we kind of get the gut health good, but then we also help boost the immune function. So in leaky gut, one of the protocols that I use does, like, we add zinc if you have a low secretory IgA. So just boosting kind of, so you have more resilience against infections.
And are there specific lifestyle changes aside from just, I mean, of course, eating better that can enhance an immune function?
Yes. Oh, hands down, yes, right? Things that we can do to boost our immune system would be regular exercise, right? Enhancing circulation, reducing inflammation. That's what exercise does for us. Our sleep's super important for the immune system. Getting, 8 hours of sleep. So if you're having trouble falling or staying asleep, those are things to address with your provider. It does make you more apt. I mean, if you ever think about like traveling, or your family's coming in and you're waking up early and you've got your sleep schedule off, and then the next thing you know, you're feeling ill again. And stress management. So working on mindfulness, things to help reduce stress, being outside, walking, forest bathing, things like that. But
Did you
meditation,
just say forest bathing?
yeah, that's what it's called.
I'd never heard that before.
Yeah, well, I actually am going to be doing that when we come out to California in the Redwoods. So, but yeah, it's called forest bathing, and it's really just being present in the forest. Like, you're not going there with an intention to work out or to hike, but just to be present in the forest and kind of explore and work on meditation. But it's a very calming thing that can be done.
I love it. So it's just immersing yourself in the forest and basking in nature.
Exactly. And so that can be helpful for the immune system as well.
So, what are some of the common misconceptions about boosting the immune system that you'd like to clarify?
Um, well, a big one is, one comment is that taking large amounts of a single vitamin, like vitamin C, can prevent an illness. And that's not the way it works. While vitamins are important, they work best if we balance our diet and our lifestyle. So there's no magic bullet for boosting the immune system. It requires a combination of healthy habits. So.
Well, that just bursted my bubble thinking that I just went and I just spent money on, I got my turmeric, I got my ginger supplement, and I got my hyperbiotics with zinc and C. I
Yeah,
still have to go and eat well too.
you do because food is medicine, right? It has the ability to turn on and turn off disease. So we have
You know
to.
what I realized is that if you just eat bell peppers, you have red, orange, yellow, green,
Mhm.
and then all you need, if you have all of those, you got most of the rainbow covered, and then you just need blue and purple.
That's true. You can do that in a day, but eventually you need diversity to get all of the nutrients that you need. But yeah, color of the rainbow is so important. Those healthy habits, we cannot out supplement a poor diet. Like it just doesn't happen. We can notice a little bit of changes, but until we really get in our mind that the diet is the piece of it that needs to change to boost our immune and our health.
So, what are the critical questions that patients should talk to their doctor about, to make sure that they have a healthy immune system?
Well, they want to talk to them about their overall lifestyle habits, right? Talk to them about what they're doing, what their diet actually is, how can they incorporate things? Do they have any nutrient deficiencies, or is there concerns for it based on their medications and everything? And are they taking meds that would suppress the immune system? And you really want to discuss that with them. And then proper hand washing, soap and water. Talk, talking to your doctor
Happy
about
birthday
that.
to you. They always say, sing the song and keep scrubbing your hands
Keep
until you
scrubbing
finish the happy
away.
birthday song.
Okay, and then talk to them if you think that you would benefit from taking a supplement, right? That's something that you want to do. And if they have, chronic conditions or cardiovascular, how to decrease inflammation. So we improve the immune system that way.
Now, if you're on these these medicines, if you have an autoimmune condition, or, let's say you end up getting a kidney transplant, right? And they need to suppress your immune system so it doesn't fight, the transplant. Should you, I mean, should you be trying to eat all of these foods and things like that that builds your immune system back up? Does it,
Well, you
it's
still want
counterintuitive,
the protein for healing and some diversity in the foods. You probably wouldn't be adding things to
like
improve,
supplements?
right? You wouldn't be supplementing at that time, but you could be doing things like hand washing. Don't go around people that are ill. If somebody's coming over, that's where sometimes the mask wearing can be beneficial when somebody's
Yeah.
recently had a transplant.
And I know that Douglas has a question in there. Douglas, do you want to go ahead and unmute?
Yeah, I was curious. So if we're eating properly, the rainbow, and we're taking care of our gut, and we're not smoking, we're walking, is it really necessary to have the flu shot once a year, or do they work together?
That's a good question here. And it really depends on how weak your immune system is initially. Most providers, when you have a chronic condition, will recommend that you get the flu shot because they're targeting like what flu is coming that year. So that's one of those questions to talk to your doctor about with like they know you personally. Should I have the flu vaccine, or I'm doing all these good things and all of my labs are looking good. So that's definitely like an individual question
We
there.
always say that that's a really important question to ask your own provider, and that goes with any of the vaccines. It really is individualized, and they're the ones who know your presentations of any sort of comorbidities that might be impacted, your medications as well. They know all this, and they're going to be able to help you make a more informed decision as to what's right for you. I'm actually in the middle of trying to make that decision. I've never gone a year literally without taking the flu vaccine, but because of a serious complication that happened with a recent vaccine, otherwise, I ended up becoming triggering my autoimmune
Yeah.
condition. And so I'm kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. But, thankfully, I have doctors that understand. And if you have one doctor that doesn't seem to get it, like My mom, for example, had a doctor that didn't believe in supplements at all. She didn't believe in advanced blood work for nutrient deficiencies beyond C and D, and like that was it. So we ended up getting her another doctor that was more knowledgeable on supplements, more knowledgeable on advanced blood work. And, you know, that's the type of person that you want to have that conversation with, because they will have all of your medical records and they will have an understanding of food as medicine and the value of supplements as well. So, you know, if one doctor doesn't seem to have the knowledge or willingness to have that discussion with you, then just definitely get a second opinion. We always say, no matter what, everyone should always get a second opinion for anything. Any other questions that we have in our live studio audience about the immune system? We did have a question that had come in earlier, and I'm trying to look. Whoops, I'm losing my studio here. Let me put that over there. And I'm trying to look for it. And it was in regards to, oh, bergamot. Are you familiar with that supplement?
Mhm. Yeah.
She was told not to take apple cider vinegar or bergamot or bergamot, whichever way you pronounce it, because she's on a statin. I had never heard that before. I looked it up and I didn't see any contraindications for either one of them. But I'm wondering if you had heard anything that apple cider vinegar or the bergamot supplement would be contraindicated for a statin.
No, so some of the studies with bergamot, actually, it can enhance like lowering cholesterol as well. Some people will take it in place of or in conjunction with. So I have not heard that. I would have to do a little more looking into it. And I use it a lot over the last 10 years, and even with people on statins or who want to come off statins. So I'd be interested to learn why they say that.
Well, you know, I just wonder because it's just like I did some research recently on chia seeds, for example, because one of our patients, her friend told her that if she's on blood pressure medication or insulin, that she should not be consuming large amounts of chia seeds. And lo and behold, I actually looked it up, and it's not necessarily contraindicated, but it can definitely have an impact. Sometimes in large quantities, the chia seeds can work so well at lowering your A1C and lowering your blood pressure that if you're on medications, if you're on blood pressure medication and or insulin, it can affect the dosage that is required for you. So to me, that means maybe they work so well
Yeah.
that maybe at some point you might not need it. But of course, the advice and views offered in this series are that of myself and Nurse Practitioner Deidre Arms. Do not take any advice or act on any information offered here without the explicit consent of your own healthcare provider. Whew. I love our discussions.
I do too. There's
Well, there
something.
aren't any more questions about the immune system. I know
Hang
you're
on.
you're running out. Oh, Douglas does. Douglas has
Well,
another one.
what about like the single shot or any of those shots? Or is that the same? Check with your doctor to make sure it's appropriate with all your conditions that you're dealing with.
That's what I would say. Always check with them about vaccinations and everything. And especially if you have a chronic condition, I might not say go to the clinic and just get the vaccine because they're running the clinic that day to do it. I would say go to your provider, talk to them, make sure that they're like, yes, let's get that. And they may offer it in their office, or they may tell you, yeah, go ahead to that clinic and get that.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point because my dad did that. He had just gotten his LAD, his widowmaker in the coronary, cleaned out, and his right coronary artery cleaned out. And within 7 days, he went and got the first COVID vaccine. The next week, he went and got the pneumonia vaccine. I think it was pneumonia. Pneumonia still has 2 shots, right? I think it was pneumonia. Whichever one had 2, it was either pneumonia or shingles. Anyway, so he went the next week, got that other vaccine, the first dose of that one. The next week, he went and got the second COVID vaccine. And then the following week, ended up with the second of the other one, either shingles or pneumonia. And within a week, he ended up with all of these symptoms, fluid around his heart, fluid around his lungs. I mean, his immune system went absolutely bonkers. And so that's why, and the doctor, the cardiologist said, "You did what?" And well, the clinics were offering them and I knew I was due. And so I just went ahead and I was scheduled for them. So why not do them? He was like, okay, so sometimes you just need to put logic ahead of anything else. Well, it was safe for him to get all of the vaccines. It was just giving his immune system too much to do all at once. And that's why I know they're offering like the flu vaccine and COVID together. But for me, I just look at it for, logically that, well, maybe we should spread that out. Let's, let the immune system, deal with this one first. And then I'm going to come back and then let the immune system deal with that next week.
Right.
I don't
And
know.
age has a lot to do with that as well, chronic conditions, but that's when we get these vaccines, that's how we build that adaptive and we build our own antibodies. We have to give our body time for that.
Right? Exactly. And I think that Marcia might want to unmute and jump on in here. I see in the chat that she's having a little trouble getting her hand raised, but I want to give her the opportunity to jump in and say hello and ask a question if she does have one. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, hi. Oh, sorry.
Go
Now,
ahead.
I don't know how to put my hand back down, but yeah, so about the shingles, I went and saw my doctor and she wanted me to get the flu and pneumonia and shingles. And she's aware of all my conditions. And I did get the pneumonia and I did get the flu. And I think they didn't have shingles yet. And so she's aware of it, but I'm leery of it. That's why I wanted, to ask you what you thought of that, because I'm just getting to the age where I think, it could be relevant for me.
And when Kim said get a second opinion or somebody who kind of aligns and is hearing your concern for it, because maybe she wasn't totally hearing your concern. Like, I'm a little leery about this. I would tell her that. What's the most important thing you want me to do for my health? And maybe scatter that out over time. Maybe you get them all, but you scatter that out and don't do it back to back. Like I would definitely ask her that, or just present it in a way like, hey, I'm concerned about adding this other one just yet. How long should I wait? How long can I wait?
Okay.
Does that help?
Well, it
I know
kind of
for
helps.
me, if I'm going to get one, literally that shingles scares the heck out of me. I heard it is literally so painful that I'm thinking to myself, I'm just like, if there was any vaccine I was like really eager to get, I would, for myself, the moment I can get that one, I'm gonna get that one.
I agree, but getting 3 vaccines, boom, boom, boom. And I don't,
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't do a COVID vaccine again. With the COVID, I just felt like, I did get it and I know it's personal, it's a hot topic, but I'm trying to back out of, you need every vaccine there is. I kind of want to know why and, that they're proven and that they work. And anyway, that's why I asked.
Yeah, that's something that is really important to have that discussion with, both. You have a really good, I think, nurse practitioner, I think it is, that
I have
that
a
you work with.
brand new doctor.
Oh, you have a brand new one.
Yeah, and I really like her. And she was just like, you need all 3 of these. You need a bone density test. You need your lungs checked because I'm a smoker or was a smoker. you know, she was just like bang, 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 and she knew all about PAD. I really liked her, but you know, as we know, liking your doctor doesn't mean they're always the best. So
Yep. We always, as nurse practitioner Deidre says, you know, that second opinion. It's always good to make the most informed decision. And the good news is there are a lot of studies that are out there that you can bring in with you and create a really solid set of questions to ask with specific information. And if that doctor can't answer them, then, you know, get another. At least you're going to be able to space them out at that point, so that you're not doing everything all at once. And I think my dad's situation was a great lesson. Just don't do things all at once at all. His immune system went absolutely bonkers. So,
well, I did do the pneumonia and the flu at once, and I was fine.
well,
My
I
arm
heard
was really
they're
sore.
similar. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
And
thank
you're
you.
standing here talking to us, so I think you did okay. And Heinz is actually writing in here, per NIH, shingles can cause increased risk of cardiovascular disease. Yeah, I have no doubt. That one scares me more than anything else. So that's a good one for everyone to make sure, just to have the discussion with their doctor. I think with all of these, it's important to have that discussion with your doctor. And, you know, just to make sure that YouTube is very clear that we are not giving medical advice. We are telling people that they need to talk to their doctor about these issues. And we have our disclaimer not to take our advice or to use our experiences as the Holy Grail. Make sure you do talk to your own doctor about your own medical situation, and do not act on anything we talk about here, except to go talk to your doctor. So go talk to your doctor. Deidre, do you think we covered that?
I think if one thing you remember is boost your immune and go talk to your doctor about boosting your immune.
Exactly. You know, hopefully through these sessions, because it's so interesting. Before, when we came up with this topic about your immune system, I was like, I don't even really understand what the immune system is. It's this elusive thing. Like, what is it? What does it look like? And
Yeah.
I realized that I had no idea. We hear it all the time, and you could imagine so many people would be like, well, why would I tune in to watch this? Because we hear about the immune system. I know what the immune system is. But until I just heard I really liked your description. You know, I learned so much more about its mechanism of action. I learned the role of the gut in it. And, you know, most importantly, and I think we drive this home every week, it's the importance of eating the right foods and making sure to be very, very conscious of that. The fresher, the better, the more colorful, the better.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Nurse Practitioner Deidre Arms. We really appreciate your time. And we are not going to be getting together for this next week, but we are going to be reconvening the week following. So be looking for those notifications. Not sure on our topic yet, but watch for those notifications and on YouTube. Make sure you like our channel. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a thing. All the way through the month of September, we have doctors and nurse practitioners and a variety of different topics that are here to answer your questions. So like and subscribe to our channel, and make sure to visit Nurse Practitioner Deidre Arms' website at desirewellnessgroup.com to learn more about her as well. Thanks everyone for joining us. Thank you, Nurse Practitioner Deidre, for everything. We appreciate you donating your time.
Talk soon.